everyone. Today I'll show you a selection of budget-friendly gadgets that I personally liked, so I decided to buy them for testing and share the results with you. I don't smoke cigarettes, yet I couldn't resist trying out a couple of these electric arc lighters. Both of them look quite unusual with their transparent designs. The first lighter's quite hefty, despite its plastic body. The second one is entirely plastic and much lighter than the first. Both lighters open with a simple finger movement. The first one immediately lights up with LED lights and shows the battery charge at the bottom. The middle button activates the electric arc with a hissing sound, very typical of such lighters. Each press displays the total number of times the lighter's been ignited on the screen. The necessity of this feature isn't very clear, but whatever. When you press the button on the second lighter, it causes the battery charge indicator to scroll, and upon release, it shows an approximate remaining charge. Before I move on to testing, I want to mention that both lighters have a built-in flashlight with 2 brightness levels and a strobe mode, which could come in handy. The flashlight on the second one is especially bright. Now let's see what I can light with such a lighter. Well, it turns out that pretty much anything can be lit. If ancient people managed to start a fire with sticks, what's an electric lighter capable of then? One of the advantages is that it doesn't go out in the wind at all. No matter how hard I tried, the arcs resisted but didn't extinguish. The only thing that might be a bit inconvenient is lighting something without a visible flame. It's convenient that the lighters with built-in batteries charge via USB-C, and the charge was enough for around 4 to 5 minutes of continuous use, which is actually not bad. Next, I have this mini knife keychain. It's very small and mainly useful for opening packages. However, this bit set can transform the knife into a mini screwdriver. There are 2 Phillips head and 1 flathead bit, which can be handy if you don't have a regular screwdriver on hand. Speaking frankly, my attempt to unscrew a bolt was quite challenging. The knife tended to poke my hand. Luckily, the blade isn't the sharpest. I would definitely sharpen it more. I hope the next gadget will help me with that. I've tried different knife sharpening methods, and to be honest, I haven't always liked the process. But this gadget appealed to me because of its simplicity. You press a button, insert the knife, and the gadget sharpens it. However, this particular knife is a bit small for such a device. I should use something larger. So first you sharpen one side, then the other. The first stage is coarse grinding, and then the second stage is fine grinding. There are 2 speeds. The second one makes the whole process go faster. The knives have improved in sharpness, but I wouldn't say they're perfect. Perhaps they need a bit more sharpening. The device charges via a USB cable, which is already connected to it in a separate compartment. The next thing that I liked, and which, as the manufacturer claims, will strengthen my hand, is this gyro ball. It's a gyroscope enclosed inside a ball that you need to spin in your hand. Sounds pretty simple. You start by spinning the internal mechanism in the direction indicated, then release it and begin rotating your wrist. The gyroscope starts to gain speed, reaching several thousand RPM, and creates increasing resistance for the hand. This way, the hand starts to exert more effort. I especially feel the muscle tension in the forearm. Primarily, this device is used for rehabilitating damaged wrists and forearms and improves blood circulation. However, according to studies, it enhances grip strength and is used by athletes for training. Yet, professional athletes use more powerful balls where the resistance reaches 60 pounds. But a ball like this will be just right for me. This gadget speaks for itself. It's a 5-minute timer designed to reduce phone scrolling in the restroom and focus on the task you've come for. While sitting quietly and scrolling through your feed might seem harmless, doctors recommend limiting it to 5 minutes, which this device aims to help with. Essentially, it's a sand timer with a fun design. It'd be even better if it could also ring when the 5 minutes are up. So these wallets, one for $5 and the other for $11, I only ordered to compare with my $67 wallet to see if it's worth paying extra for the brand. The $5 one looks simpler. It's lightweight, fits 6 cards in the main section like my wallet, and you can push them out with this mechanism. The mechanism's a bit stiff, but maybe it'll loosen up over time. There are also 2 fabric pockets for extra cards or cash, but the fabric doesn't seem super durable. As for comfort, there are some question marks, but for $5, it's definitely worth it. The second wallet looks exactly like mine. It's just not branded. Basically no different from mine, so I totally replaced my 2-year-old beat-up wallet with it, even though it got scratched up after a couple of months. Not sure about the material. Probably aluminum like my branded card holder. It holds 6 cards plus extras and business cards under a metal plate, and you can tuck cash under a rubber band. This reliable night servant is ready to go through fire and water for me. Essentially, it's a smartphone stand that I really wanted for my desktop. However, I was immediately disappointed because my iPhone Pro Max barely fits in there at an awkward angle. Removing the case helps a bit, but I'm not keen on doing that. Smaller smartphones fit fine, though. Nevertheless, I did find another use for it after all. Instead of its useless sword, you can place a fancy pen in there. Like this one I specifically ordered for this purpose. It's pretty hefty, made of wood, and opens in an unusual way. Its center of gravity is shifted towards the back, so writing with it's quite comfortable, despite the weight. Alternatively, you could use this one that resembles a fountain pen, but is actually just a gel pen. It's also quite weighty and looks somewhat pricey, even though it's inexpensive. The next item that might alert airport staff is nothing but a collapsible water bottle. It holds 19.6 ounces and when folded takes up less than 6 inches in length. You can fill it with water whether it's collapsed or expanded, but obviously it holds less water when it's collapsed. Besides convenience, the most important aspect to consider when choosing reusable bottles is the material they're made of. This one's made of silicone, which is safe for health regardless of the temperature. I've always wanted to play real golf, but never had a chance to do so. Well, this isn't even mini golf, it's micro golf. Surprisingly, you still need some skill to get the ball into one of these holes. You can even stick a flag in and feel like Tiger Woods. Fun fact, he actually started out with this kind of golf. Okay, I'm just joking around. There are 3 types of clubs, though at this distance you could use anything, including your fingers, to hit the ball. It won't make much of a difference. Each club also doubles as a tool for keeping score. Honestly, I can't imagine anyone taking this seriously, unless it's a strip version. Those who love playing cards will totally understand this. When it's your turn to shuffle, you're always trying not to look like a total newbie, and to shuffle in a way that won't get you teased later by your buddies. If you're a pro dealer, you don't have this problem, of course. For the rest, there's this electronic gadget that can perfectly shuffle even 2 decks of cards in just a few seconds. Let's start with one deck first. It's a completely new deck, never shuffled before. Let's try placing it on the left side and pressing the button. Here we go. Let's check the result. Well, that didn't work out. It looks like I need to split the deck into 2 halves and put them in the 2 parts of the device. Let's try again. Now, as you can see, the deck is shuffled quite well. Let's take another deck and see how well it shuffles 2 of them together. As you can see, the result is really good. I definitely couldn't do that manually as well. Overall, it's a nice device, very easy to use, and runs on 4 AA batteries. To carry all this stuff, or rather these useful items like a golf pen set, you might need a good everyday carry bag like this. It's lightweight, feels kinda waterproof, and even has a side lock, so my collapsible water bottle stays secure. There's also a charging port on the back too, so you can stash a power bank inside and charge your smartphone on the outside. Although with a USB-A port, it's pretty useless for iPhones. The inside pocket has already started to fray, though I haven't even used it yet. Overall, it's a small bag and definitely worth its $13, although it'd be nice if it could fit at least a tablet too. Meet a Richard Mille style watch that'll cost you 10,000 times less than the original. And no, it's not a knockoff, even though the watch resembles the real one, especially this 6702 model. Inspired by the design of one of the most expensive watch brands, the Chinese have created this watch under their own brand. Gotta admit, the watch looks pretty impressive, and I have no issues with the skeleton design. The glass probably isn't sapphire, but who cares? It's only $45, and it actually works, although I don't know how long it'll hold up. The metal case is not too heavy, and there's even a sort of faux tourbillon spinning at the bottom. In general, it looks like a good option if you're okay with the fact that others might think you're wearing a fake of an expensive brand. By the way, some brands sell similar watches for $500 or more. And even though I haven't tested either the expensive copy or the $300,000 originals by Richard Mille, this watch is definitely worth the money. Oh, and it features an automatic mechanism, so you either have to wear it all the time to keep it wound, or get this watch winder. You need it to prevent your watch from stopping if you don't wear it for 1 to 2 days. This winder rotates the watch periodically to keep it wound. Here's how it works. 2 minutes of rotation in one direction, followed by 6 minutes of rest, and then 2 minutes of rotation in the other direction. This maintains the watch's power without excessive energy consumption. The motor operates quietly without causing any distraction. The device is powered via USB, so instead of gathering dust on a nightstand, your watch can be elegantly displayed as if on a showcase, always ready to go. And all this for just $22. Quite a deal.